Joe Biden has been filling out the roles for his potential administration, Sean, and one of the most controversial picks is his nominee for the Secretary of Health and Human Services. And it's not just because Biden struggles to say his name. Take a listen.
For Secretary of Health and Education Services, I nominated Xavier Becerra. Xavier Becerra, excuse me.
Third time's the charm. Maybe it's Xavier Becerra. Now, I've had my own struggles, so but this is a guy who didn't even get the department right. Never mind the name. 3 tries in a row.
Poor guy. All right, well, our next guest says that California Attorney General Xavier Becerra's radical pro-abortion position makes him a poor choice for the head of Department of Health and Human Services. We hope to be joined by the Senior Policy Advisor for the Catholic Association for Dr. Christie, but we're also joined by the president of Susan B. Anthony List and the author of the new book, Life is Winning, Marjorie Dannenfelser. Marjorie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, you've been on with us before talking about how pro-life President Trump has been. This seems to be quite the opposite. And I want to get your take on this and what the National Review says about Becerra's opinion of pro-life. They say this: time and again, Becerra has revealed himself to be a politician with a serious soft spot for pro-abortion zealotry. President-elect Joe Biden subordinately persists in calling himself pro-life, despite no longer articulating support for any meaningful limitations on elective abortion. His selection of Becerra signals that Biden is fully prepared to use the executive branch to enforce the left's insistence on unlimited abortion. You know, I think about this as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Mr. Becerra would not only be implementing policies, but he would be shaping
California, trying to force them to advertise for abortion services at other places. He just doesn't have a scintilla of understanding about what it would mean to be a Biden pro-life kind of guy. So any idea that this president would be in any way moderate on the abortion issue is countered by this leadership. The most important pick in the administration on abortion policy is this guy who I don't know how he got the way that he is, but he is a zealot, the poster child for NARAL and payback for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, and we now have Dr. Christie. Dr. Christie, thanks for being here with us. Got to get you to weigh on this. As Marjorie was just referencing, Xavier Becerra has been so 100% pro-abortion, and he even took Little Sisters to the Supreme Court and these crisis pregnancy centers, as she mentioned. But one of the interesting things to me is he also voted for minors to be able to be trafficked across state lines to receive an abortion. Just the complete disregard for parents here is extremely concerning, Dr. Christie.
Yes, there's really no limit that this man will abide on abortion. He is so out of touch with normal Americans. Over 3/4 of Americans understand that abortion must have some limits to it, even Americans who call themselves pro-choice. So things that he has voted on are, he's voted for sex-selective abortion, which generally targets baby girls. He has voted, as you say, for the ability of older men to traffic girls across state lines to procure abortions for them without parental notification, which is just criminal from a parental perspective. And of course, also he has voted for partial birth abortion, which is a very brutal procedure that most people find heinous.
Marjorie, aside from Hachiya Bachaha, or whatever Joe Biden called him, there's another person that is concerning to me. It's Susan Rice. She was selected as the Domestic Policy Council head. When she was UN ambassador under President Obama, this is what Planned Parenthood said. This is a January 13th, 2014 header. It says, Susan Rice is a passionate and committed advocate for poor women and families around the world. We expect that she will work effectively with other countries to fulfill the UN's development agenda, including the Millennium Development Goals on maternal health, gender equality, and AIDS reduction. Tell me what concerns you about her now heading up the Domestic Policy Council in the White House.
Well, they're moving in with great venom to overturn all of the pro-life policies, of course, that the president put in place right when he got there. Sean, you were part of the expanded Mexico City policy, the rejection of this idea that we ought to be abortion imperialists around the world. And so they're coming back and they're going to make sure that abortion is at the center of so-called healthcare and double down on what that means to export that from this country. There's really, honestly, not a lot that we can do about it. This is the consequence of a presidential election. That's an executive order.
Why the Senate is crucial.
That's what I was going to say. Thank God you're covering that, and thank God we're communicating with Georgians, because our one backstop is the Senate.
Yep.
You know, one other thing that I think, Dr. Christie, is it's not just Rice and Becerra, but nobody on Joe Biden's team so far. You know, Kamala Harris, 100% pro-abortion, and it feels like there's nobody that's going to be standing up for life in this administration.
And another thing that concerns me is that Joe Biden I think he's picked Xavier Becerra to make Latinos like me happy that we have someone, a Hispanic, in a top post. But this man does not represent Latinos. He doesn't represent Americans in general as far as his crazy abortion ideals, and especially Latinos. You know, we have a very hospitable attitude towards unexpected children. The whole family pitches in to welcome them. And it's really sad to see that kind of pandering to the Latino community, which, I'm sorry, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Well, ladies, we're out of time, but there's so much more to talk about because this is a very important issue, and I appreciate you weighing in on it today.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, Marjorie Dannenfelser's latest book is Life is Winning, and it's available anywhere books are sold. And to save you some time, you can click on the link below as well.